when I booked this tantric healing massage therapist course, it was kind of like, felt like a meant to be experience. I remember being interested in it for quite some time, a long time, and what caught my eye was a YouTube video. And if you're watching this, then you probably watched the same video. If not, then I will link it down below. But it was this video where the creator, founder, instructor of the course of Somanandas schooling gave this girl an energetic spiritual orgasm. She was fully clothed and she just went off. I'd never seen such a thing in my life, and it kind of said like, you'll learn this, or at least it gave the impression that you would learn that in the class. And so I was like, yeah, I know a lot of women who don't even have orgasms, and well, that's a lie. I know a few, but I know that supposedly this exists. And honestly, sometimes when girls talk about orgasms, I'm not even sure if they're really having a full-on orgasm. It's all perception, right? Anyway, so I know that there's women who suffer from the inability to have orgasms. I know that there's ones that struggle, all this stuff. And I thought I should learn how to do that and help them out, because all it is in the video is waving hands over the body. But I didn't realize that underneath in the description it said like, building up to this point, there was already like, I think like a massage or something, like, or there was like a half an hour of like massage and all this kind of stuff. And I didn't realize that. So I thought it was just like waving hands and whatnot. So I thought I was going to wave hands over somebody and they were going to have this like amazing, phenomenal orgasm, and it would be like sexually healing in some sort of way. I remember kind of saying a prayer and saying like I need a sign to know if I should do this course or not. And then like right after I said that, I think like it was either the next day or something like that, I got an email from him, like from that Somananda group, because I had signed up for emails, and it was like, there's a spot for X amount of females and it's discounted at this much, like last minute. And then I looked at the flights, because it was in Mexico, and it was just too good of a deal to pass up. And it was in Acapulco. And I remember people saying, I had no idea what Acapulco was. And they were like, you know, Acapulco is like one of the most dangerous cities in the world. And I was like, and if you Google it, it does say that. And when you land in the airport and you're driving past all these like abandoned hotels, it's just this like creepy, weird vibe. But then all of a sudden you find where we found this like serene little place in the middle of nowhere. And I'm sharing a room with two females, and I meet them and we clicked, like we got along really well. And they're like, are you ready to learn the yoni massage and the, what was it, yoni and lingam massage, I think? I'll have to verify that. And I was like, yeah, sure. I'm down for different methods of massage. Like, I'm a massage therapist. I do like energy healing massage. And I was like, do you even know, like, do you guys know what like a yoni and lingam massage is? And they're like, you don't know? No, I was like, no, I don't know what like that means. And they're like, yoni means vagina and lingam means penis. And I was like, so what do you mean? Like, we're going to massage these things? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, no, like this is not what I came here for. This is not what I signed up for. I was like, I cannot do that. Like, there's no way. I wasn't down to do that. I freaked out. And one of my roommates was like, you know, have you been to the doctor before? Have they done internal examinations? Do you know, like, that doctors check for prostate cancer and growths inside you and all that kind of stuff? And is it okay? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, well, then that's what it's like here. And I was like, okay. Yeah, okay. If it's like for the right purpose, if it's for healing, if it's for helping, then yeah, I guess it's like that. It's not like sexual. So I was like, whatever. So we did things like, yeah, yoga and breath work and learning things about like marma points and different massage methods. He pretty much taught us this like paint by numbers massage, like this step and that step and then this step followed by that step and this does this and this does this and it gets the energy ready for this, which is the finale, which was like the yoni and the lingam massage and the energetic orgasm. So there was no erections. Nobody got erect. They weren't allowed to get erect, and nobody did get erect. I think I saw one guy, his penis grew like a little bit, just a little bit, but honestly he had, I guess, erectile dysfunction. And I would later come to realize that like when people have erectile dysfunction, a lot of times if you are doing energy work and you're not even intending it to, it will like go there and make it erect. Anyways, so we learned all the massage on the back of the body. And then after like 2 days, maybe on the third day, even maybe on the fourth day, because it was a 10-day course, we flip over and we learn the front of the body massage. And it's like a full front of the body. Like female, it's breasts, and then obviously the yoni, and arms and hands and face and everything, head. And yeah, like 20 people in a big yoga room all butt naked. So you got to be cool with that. It's kind of like gym. Like if you shouldn't really be paying attention to other people. You should be like involved in your own experience so that you don't even see everything else. It wasn't really like everybody staring at each other like, oh my goodness. But I've never been in a room full of naked people like that before, so it was still kind of weird. At some point, I was doing the massage to a guy that he had a major injury to his leg. It was just not working. I don't know. He has something wrong with his one leg, majorly wrong with his one leg. It's starting to kind of be foggy now. I just remember he had like a type of limp, and it was a tragic accident, like a pretty intense accident. And I was doing a healing to him. I was doing the massage, and I was doing the front. And I think he was the first person I did the massage to the front, which means like the lingam. And you learn these steps, Honestly, I wasn't really into that. I didn't think that was important. There was this thing where you were moving the energy up, and I focused more on that. And it was actually that was like causing him to have an emotional reaction. So he started crying. And for me, back when I started doing energy work many years ago, I had the same experience where 3 people were doing energy work to me and I started crying. And it was the kind of crying where you would literally think that I was getting stabbed. It was like the craziest cry. My head was whipping back. You would have been like, what the heck? And he was having a similar experience where it was just so intense, but it was like meant to be that we got partnered up and he had that experience, because I was totally cool with it, because I'm like, this reminds me of me. It's going to be okay, because I know at the end he's going to be like, everything's okay. But the teacher came and shut it down because it was just really intense and kind of disrupting the class. And he did something that like stopped him from crying. And then this guy got upset and he barely attended any of the other classes, to the point that at the end he wasn't even attending the classes. He was just hanging out on the resort. And at that moment, I remember that I started to really notice different characteristics of people. Like this person being moody and sensitive and easily angered, or had sort of like ego things going on. And then this person was like really outspoken and also sensitive, kind of felt like, what's the word called? Like misunderstood, but like maybe they were a little misunderstood, but they thought like they put off that energy too. So I don't know. This person was super sexual and like touchy-feely, needy, and this person was etc., etc. And like each person had their own thing. And like later on I found out, because I really connected with a guy there, and we just did so much spiritual work, and he had like, this gift of speaking with the spiritual realm. So I would like think of these questions and he would answer them by like channeling. He was a channeler. And I found out that each person was kind of a representation of different aspects of my personality, the ones that I really noticed. Like, honestly, there were people in the class that, like, I couldn't even tell you, like, what their name was and what they were, like, barely. But then there was, like, a group of them that like really stood out to me, and I definitely had connections with and communications with, and there were, I guess, different aspects of myself. So when I found that out, I just kind of like took it in as like, hey, work on this part of me, because I see in that person how it's negatively affecting their experiences. Because it's so much easier to see when you're in the outside, bird's eye view, outside of the box, so much easier. So I got to see this outside box perspective of myself and different aspects of my personality, and see how it was either benefiting me or detrimental to me. Another thing that happened in the massage, let's see. There was a point where I had to do the yoni massage to a girl, and I remember her saying, because we were kind of like looking to heal issues, and like issues would arise by like aches or pains or things like that inside of like the area of like the uterus and the vagina when we were healing it. And she's like, I have a pain here. She kind of touched by like her like uterus or something, and I had my fingers inside her, and I was trying to like put my fingers towards that space and like help it, heal it, make it go away, and I couldn't reach. I was like, I can't reach that high. Like my fingers are too small. Like I'm not going to get there. And at that point I realized, like, when I'm healing my clients, regardless of what the issue is, there's an energetic blockage in the knee or in the heart or in the back or in the mind, I don't go inside their body to heal it. I do it from the outside. So like, why do I need to have my fingers in her? My hands are always on the outside of the client. The energy perpetrates the skin and works itself within. Like, that's just a given. So I'm like, I don't need my fingers to touch that. So this was just a random thought, I guess, intuition. And I was like, I'm just going to send the energy there. I know she said it's there, and I will send the energy there to heal it. And then as soon as I said that in my mind, I never told her what I was thinking. I was just thinking these thoughts. And she said, okay, you have it. It's going away. So it's very interesting. Like, I never used these massages ever again. I never did a yoni massage or a lingam massage. But I did use the inspiration of sexual healing. There was a large focus on moving the energy up. I took that from the thing. Like, so there's many things I took from the course. Not particularly what I imagined happening, what I thought I was going to learn. The giving an orgasm with waving your hands over the body. There was much more to the course than I had originally imagined, but I took so much from the course for sure. I had crazy mind-blowing experiences that didn't even have to do with the course. I linked up with a guy who channeled. I have learned so much from him. We had the crazy experience with aliens at the course. Aliens, like real aliens. I'm not really going to get into that. I'll maybe save it for another video. If you want to know about the aliens, you can comment down below. But yes, we have been in contact with the aliens. So yeah, I took so many things from it. So I'm so grateful I went. My friend who channels has been an amazing part of my spiritual growth. I really do believe that it was meant to be that I met him. Even to this day, we still talk and we do spiritual channeling over the phone, and I've just learned so much from obviously the spiritual realm, because he can connect with it and channel it and like literally hear it. I also learned you can sexually interact with someone and pick up the energy of someone by not actually having sex with them, but intending to, if you do a certain kind of energy work. So there was this ritual thing they did at the end. I don't even know what it was about. It was about, I don't know. My memory is very selective, like what's important to me I remember, and then the rest I'm like, eh. So we did this ritual at the end where I think I had to wear a red dress. All the girls had to wear red dresses, and the guys had to wear another color. I don't know what it was. And the guys sat in a circle, and the girls came in and danced. And so we like danced for like one guy, and then we moved to the next, and we danced for a guy, and we moved to the next, and we danced for a guy, blah, blah, blah. And when I got to the one guy that I had done the healing to, and I was making him cry, I knew that he liked me. He had told me that he was like attracted to me and he was interested in me. And I don't know why, but I had the brilliant idea that I'm going to move my energy through him and like try to have energetic sex with him. So he's sitting on the floor and I'm standing dancing, and he's sitting on the floor like I am, and he's looking up at me like this. And I start moving the energy, and I don't know if this would make sense to you unless you're like a spiritual person, but he started freaking out. Like, he started like having like some sort of orgasmic experience. So like, he was like I can't even explain it. And I was like, okay, it's working. Interesting enough, you know, that whole, what's it called? Be wary of who you have sex with, because you're really interchanging energies. Like, you're plugging into them. Like, it's an outlet. It's an energetic exchange. You have the plug, and you have the plug in, and there you go. This was on the 10th day. So this is the last day of the whole event, and it's like the nighttime. And so I have built my relationships and bonds and experiences with everyone, and everyone knows who I am and how I act and what I'm like. And all of a sudden, I just change. I am like sitting at the table. I really remember this clearly. And I am thinking negative thoughts about everyone. I'm thinking, it was like kind of like, they don't include me. Maybe they ignore me, or they annoy me. It's fake. Kind of like this, like very like separate. Like, I'm separate from them thoughts. Any kind of thought that could really separate you from the group, isolate yourself. It was like I was having these thoughts, and I was like sitting there eating, and I was just meh. And my friend, who was the channeler, whom I had connected with strongly, and we hung out like every day, he's like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, nothing. But then I acknowledged that, yes, there's something wrong with me. Like, I'm not normally like this. Like, why am I feeling like this? And then my intuition kicks in again and says, like, this isn't yours. Like, this is something you picked up from him. And so I immediately did an energetic healing to myself, and just, whoo, I just felt it leave. Like, it was like the freaking lights came on. It was like I was in a dark room. Everything sucked, and I had so many negative thoughts, and then, I was free. And it was something I had picked up from him. Now that I'm more advanced, I would say, if you have that experience with someone, then you should definitely try your best to pray for them, heal them of that, now that you have understood like where their mind is at and what energies they're dealing with. I'm not sure how he didn't release it. Like, maybe it was because he wasn't doing all the healings, but because he decided not to be a part of the class. But by the end of the class, like the end of the 10 days, end of the course, I noticed that I liked people more. I liked people more. I appreciated people more. I felt more connected to people. And for me, from my experience, I saw people like movie characters. What that means to me is that I feel like if you just look at someone, like say a picture of them, you can't really know much about them. And maybe superficially, they are not pleasing to the eye. You're like, meh, not my type, not my thing, not what I'm attracted to, not what I'm into, etc. This is something that we've been trained and whatever, brainwashed in a sense to think. And then if you watch a movie of a person, it doesn't particularly matter what they look like. It's more of the persona and their personality and their characteristics and their morals and their energy that you vibe with. So you'll be like, this guy's cool. It doesn't matter that he's not like, you know, this kind of sexy, this kind of hot. Like, he's just like funny, and I connected with him and I love him as a character. So it was kind of like that. It was like I could see like them deeper, like as if I had watched a movie of them and seen like all their awesome parts of them, and like, and I could place them in a role in a movie without knowing them. I just look at them and be like, oh, they could be this person. And then I just like liked people by looking at them a lot more than I normally would. Hopefully that makes sense. What other things did I gain from it? To me, it was like a catapult forward in my spiritual growth, this course, for sure. At least that was the experience for me. I think it was the same for a lot of other people too. I know a few other people. I know that the person that I met, he learned so much. Like, I know I'm saying I learned so much from him and his gift, but he did vice versa, learn so much from me. And it was our gifts together, spiritual gifts, because I have like this kind of intuition thing. I don't know. It's like I can really help enhance people's gifts. So like I help him grow his gift in those 10 days, and then from those 10 days on. And then I know another couple, they met through the course. And they had so many crazy spiritual experiences, and then we had spiritual experiences together. So I'd assume that that's kind of what happened for everybody. I would say if you're scared of the Course, to just, pray for the Course to be healing, put that intention, and for it to be something positive and healthy and safe, and then you should receive that. Yeah, I would say it was definitely worth it. I would not take it back. I would not do it. Do I care so much about massaging a yoni and a lingam? No, that wasn't even what I took from it. I can't even tell you how to do a proper yoni and lingam massage like they showed. I could show you a couple of things, but not the whole thing. There was just certain things here and there that were just crucial to who I am today. I would say another thing that came to mind is that some people were kind of rubbed wrong by the instructor, the founder. I think his name is Somanandas. Pretty sure that's his name. Those people, I'd say, they have some issues, some trust issues, some judgmental issues, some insecurity issues, like we all do. And like I obviously did too, but these people were a magnified version of it so that I could like not miss it and work on like what was left of what I had inside me. That's how I feel a lot of life is that you will attract people that will have a magnified version of your flaws, things you need to work on, and it will be so magnified that you can't ignore it. And if you do it right, you will ask, do I have this too? What percentage do I have this? Is this in me? Do I need to work on it? Do I need to release it? And usually you do. So that's the most important part to healing, is just finding and acknowledging all of your blockages, issues, insecurities, and whatever, if you want to call it flaws, just like your stumbling blocks. They would say, nah, he wasn't that great of a teacher. And they were complaining the whole time. They were saying all these things. And I remember this particular thing where he said, the teacher doesn't remember people's names. The only people's names that he remembers, I think they said was me. Because they're like, we hear him call you by your name. And then other times he looks to someone else and says, what is your name again? So they were really bothered by that. And well, the truth be told, there was a energetic connection or sexual attraction between him and I, the teacher and I. And the teacher was in a like open relationships, and he even told us that him and his wife, I believe, have this like open relationship. I believe that the reason why we had an attraction to each other, because I then learned from my friend who was a channeler what attraction is about a lot of the time, is that attraction is often that someone has something that you wish to have or wish to experience or embody. And so I think that he just had something that I am looking for, and vice versa. So for me to the teacher, I would say I respected and was drawn into the fact that he's teaching his own healing retreats, and that's something within me that I want to do. He is helping massive amounts of people learn, the power of spiritual healing, energetic healing, and that's something that I am aspiring to do. So that would automatically draw me into him and feel this attraction. I think that if he was to see this video, he would know what was the reason he was attracted to me. And I think maybe some people would say, oh, because you're good looking. No, maybe, partly. But I think it was more than that, I'm pretty sure. Because this guy was like super spiritual, high, crazy energy. Like my channeler friend, he could see energy, and he was like, I see his energy. Like it's like freaking so large, blinding white light coming down, and much more powerful than everyone else in the class. Yeah, that was probably another reason why I was even attracted to him. And he was so intuitive and sensitive to it that he even knew. Like, he called it out. The teacher told me at the dinner table, he's like, well, because there's an attraction. I don't know if he called it sexual, but he definitely mentioned there was an attraction between him and I. And I was like, in my head, I was like, what the? I thought that was just something like in my head, like he didn't know. Like, you know what I mean? I was thinking, yeah. And I wasn't really sure if he was actually attracted to me or not. I knew he knew my name and he remembered my name, and that was nice, but I also have a unique name. I mean, how many destinies do you know? So when he said that, I was like, oh, okay. So he just knows, like, he knows I'm attracted to him and he's attracted to me. That was trippy to have that called out, like, when you haven't really even talked to the person beyond, like, something very, like, etc. Oh my goodness, I have to mention this. So cool experiences I had from the massage. One of them I had was a laugh orgasm. I call it a laugh orgasm. And I actually intended that to happen because I think someone else maybe had one or something like that. And they were laughing and they were laughing. Like the energy was causing them to laugh, like instead of cry. And I had cried a few times through the class, like nothing crazy, but like even prior healings in other places, cried. And I was like, I'm sick of crying. Like, I just want to like laugh. So I told the girl doing the energy healing to me, I was like, can you focus on like laughter and joy and like, let's try to build this energy together. And it worked. And literally it was just like the best laugh of my life. It was like, you know that laugh, you just can't stop laughing. It's uncontrollable. You're freaking crying and like, you just can't stop laughing. It's amazing. And that's what was happening to me. I think I laughed for like at least 5 minutes straight. Then another time, I remember like, you know, I let someone do yoni massage to me and it was just like, meh, nothing happened. And then the teacher said to me, if you ever need help feeling these feelings, and the energy move and the energetic orgasm, then just call me over. So I was actually getting a 2-person massage, so 4-hand massage, and I'm laying on my back and they're trying to like do this, do that, and I'm just like not feeling it. And I'm like, everyone else around me is like having energetic orgasms, like, oh my goodness, oh my god, oh, like whatever. Crazy, man. Like they're just going off. Everyone's going off. There were just like a few people, like I remember me and another guy, I think, like didn't have like really intense, crazy experiences like everyone else was. I was like, okay, call him over, like teacher, instructor, leader, whatever. So he comes over, I'm butt naked and laying like a starfish on this towel, all oiled up from these 2 people. And he simply places his 2 fingers on my like ovaries and I just start orgasming. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like I'm orgasming and I'm like, what? Like, this is amazing. Unbelievable. Yes, there was like this whole 45-minute work up to this point. You know, I had to have 45 energetic massage, but he just like, it's like he released the floodgates. And I remember I was, you know, oh my goodness, having this energetic orgasm, and I said out loud, I was like, oh my god, like this makes up for all of the times that I've ever faked it, which I've faked it so many times in my life. I apologize to all the guys that I thought that I was helping when I really was blowing up their ego instead of teaching them what to do. And to be honest, like I still think like I wish I knew someone who knew how to do that to me. Although I have had that experience one other time with someone who did it by fluke. They were doing a massage to me where they had their hand on my belly and it was giving me an orgasm just to have their hand on my belly. Like the energy was moving properly. I don't know what it was. It was crazy. What else? Is there anything else? I don't know if you've ever been on a nude resort, but like this kind of place is almost like a nude resort. It's very private. We're only people there, that the people who are in our course. And because we were all getting massaged naked in a yoga room, people just took it upon themselves to be like naked in the pool, naked on the beach. There's just a lot of nakedness. And I do remember getting tired of it. I was tired of nakedness and I was tired of limp dicks. And I literally said, I was like, at the table, I'm like, if I see another limp dick, I'm going to go crazy. Like, the reason I even said that was because, like, normally when I see a dick, it means it's like, it's up, right? It's like, yay. When you see, like, 10 dicks for, like, 10 days and they're just all limp and you're just over it. I was anyways. I was just over it. I'm like, nah. I'm like, I miss clothes. I miss cute outfits. And I miss that feeling of, like, when you see the naked body, you're like, wow. And the same vice versa. And he's like, yeah. I miss that, like, leaving more to the imagination. I was like, I'm over, like, seeing everyone naked. So I have discovered how to energetically heal and arouse a person without doing what we were taught. No yoni, no lingam. I can do it via just a typical massage with the no-go zones. So I call the no-go zones, like, you do not touch this certain area this far away from the penis or vagina. You don't touch like the back of the butt, like this close into the middle. And so, oh, I feel like it's dark in here. I have done it with my friends and with some clients, just being able to heal their sexual blockages, and also give them, well, I did it to one girlfriend where she almost had an orgasm, energetic orgasm, but she stopped me because she was like, no, this is like, oh, we can't do this. And then I did it to another girl, again, clothes on and just moving the energy properly. And she had her first internal orgasm after the session. She became very aroused, very horny. She had sex with someone, had her first internal orgasm, and now she somehow knows how to do it ever since. And I've had another client who, you know, just for some reason didn't feel aroused, didn't feel like into having sex, and then I released that blockage again by doing certain movements that kind of are founded in that, but then also altered at the same time, because I found other things since then that work as well for sexual healing. And yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much it. I think I'm just babbling now. It was worth it. It was fun. And I think it was meant to be. So if you feel called to it, maybe do a little prayer, ask, like, give me a sign, and if you get a sign, then like me or whatnot, or if you just want to do it, then I would say, yeah, I would recommend doing it. It was a really cool experience. Anyways, thank you for listening to my video and my testimonial and review about Somanandas Tantric Healing Massage Therapy course, or whatever it's called. Hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye.